When Shaquille O'Neal was 10 years old, he was 6 foot 4 inches tall. That's pretty big. The kangaroo jerky won the first week of the Jerkuille O'Neal Invitational, and that's a pretty big deal too. Today, 4 more jerkies compete for the right to face kangaroo to see which jerky reigns supreme. It's time to hack a snack as the second half of the competition begins now on You Tried Dat! You Tried Dat! Jerkuille O'Neal, round 2. And if you've never listened to another episode before now, that sentence makes no sense to you. I'm Nick Nowak, my pal Chad Hancock.
That sentence doesn't make sense to me either, and I've been on every episode.
Nick Gagger.
Hey there, what's up?
Is that true? Was he really 6'4" at age 10?
Yes.
Jesus
That's frightening.
Christ.
He was a huge human his whole life. Yes.
Wow.
Well, it'd be more frightening if he was like normal size and then suddenly became 7'1", 300 pounds as like in high school.
Well, I don't know. I mean, age 10's pretty young. Like, I was like one of the littlest kids in my entire class until like sophomore year in high school or something. And then I became like average height or whatever.
My son is 10 right now, so it would be like if he was like 3 inches taller than I am.
Yeah, how tall is Jake right now?
He's actually pretty tall. He comes up to my chin. He's very tall for his age, but he's not Shaq tall.
Okay.
It's a few things he does not have in common with Shaq. Yeah. And that's one of them.
That's one.
Hey.
He doesn't have giant shoes that you want to come in or whatever it was.
Nope. You
Wasn't that what you wanted to do,
You could
guys?
pour a can of Coke in. That was the thing.
Yeah, he was excited about how much Coke could fit in there.
Why do I want to
okay.
come in Shaq's shoes?
I thought that's what it was.
The clips, Shaq basketball clips I would be most interested to see is his like 4th grade basketball game. It just looks like a man playing against children.
I mean, that's basically what it was the NBA too. This giant dinosaur wrecking the court.
So that was Shaq was big news many years ago, but Chad, you've come across some other news.
Yeah, I thought we could just do a quick news roundup here at the beginning. A couple really dumb news stories from recently. So this first one, this is on NPR. And the headline here is, Mac and cheese is the ice cream you never thought you'd need. And now it's hard to get. And the picture at the banner is just this big, like, bright orange scoops of ice cream. And so it says, mac and cheese, it's cheesy, it's creamy, it's warm and buttery, and now it's an ice cream flavor. Oh. And many people are asking why. And then the first quote is somebody saying, we are living in the last days. Because of this. So it's a limited edition flavor that was created in celebration National Mac and Cheese Day by Kraft and Van Leeuwen Ice Cream. So, it's gluten-free, of course, carries with it Kraft's mac and cheese iconic yellow-orange color. It's $12 a pint. So, I mean, what do you think? Would you guys eat this? Do you want to try it?
I would like to try it, but I wouldn't try it. I wouldn't pay the $12 for the privilege.
No more than $11.50 a pint, you're saying?
It's got to be awful. It has to be.
I mean, I guess if someone had, like, if Novak bought a pint of it and I was at his house and he's like, just grab a spoon and try a bite, I would have to find out. But the thought of it sounds disgusting.
It does. There's a quote here from somebody that's this Eater writer who said, it is definitely cheesy. It's a little funky, a little salty, a little sweet. But altogether, I'd say it just kind of comes together. It's a lot better than you think it's going to be. So that, I don't know if I think that person just lost all their credibility as a food reviewer.
As food critic, yeah.
I do love mac and cheese, and I love ice cream. But I think I just, in general, the salty kind of ice creams, like salted caramel, I don't really like that much. I think this would be gross. Yeah. Because that's where I'm going to come down on that. It's gross.
Controversial hot take.
What else you got?
All right. Here's the second story. This is from HuffPo. What the heck is Grimace anyway? McDonald's manager's answer has people shook. So it says...
It's a shake. Is that what you're telling me?
I don't think so. Actually, so wait till you hear this. All right, the manager of McDonald's franchises in Canada has revealed the story behind Grimace, the purple pal of longtime mascot Ronald McDonald. It's left a lot of people confused. He says, quote, he is an enormous taste bud, but a taste bud nonetheless.
Your taste buds are purple?
I mean, if you've eaten like a lot of grape popsicles, I don't know.
Is this some guy who was in chart, like, or he just randomly manages some Canadian McDonald's?
Yeah, so he randomly manages some Canadian McDonald's. He says he told the network in a, quote, unofficial explanation, adding that the character was meant to show that the food tastes good. How
the fuck is that news?
The Huffington Post is sending somebody out to go find out what a grimace is?
So then they say McDonald's has been unusually tight-lipped about the purple creature's origins over the years. The closest it had come to providing an explanation was a few variations of the following tweet, which it sent out from time to time in response to inquisitive customers. And it shows this tweet from 2014 where they said, Grimace lore says he is the embodiment of a milkshake or a taste bud. Two very different things.
Right.
There.
Milkshake? How is he a milkshake?
Yeah, neither of them really works.
Like, they had a chance to come up with some cool lore, like he's this creature and he likes, fucking, I don't know.
He was like
McNuggets or some shit.
6'5" when he was 10 years old.
You could come in his shoes or whatever, but now they just blew a taste bud. That actually makes him sound disgusting. He's like a severed piece of a tongue. Makes him much more disgusting than if he's just a big purple lump of shit.
So I will say they say that Grimace was originally a villain early on, which I didn't know. Okay. But they say he does kind of look like he have been inspired of images of taste buds, and then they have a picture of taste buds, like 4 taste buds lined up, and they do look like big purple blobs. But I don't know if they took some actual taste buds and then like Photoshop this picture to be purple or what.
None of the other guys are weird. Like, there's a bird, right? And there's a criminal. There's
a guy that's a giant moon for a head.
And there's a
cheeseburger.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Wasn't there like a cop or something too or something? I could be wrong.
There's like a grizzled old cop.
Yeah.
Who has been on the force for 40 years.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he's like divorced.
There's one guy that just looks like a giant armpit hair. So that maybe ties a little bit.
That could be it.
Yeah. There's a huge nostril. Other thing.
Uh-huh.
It does make sense that he was a villain because if you think about it, his name makes no sense for like an upbeat like kids mascot of a fast food. Like Grimace is something like you do when you're incredibly nonplussed by something and like something tastes bad.
It's something that you do when like the McDonald's is on its way out of your system.
Hard Grimace.
Oh, right. It definitely could be a body part thing because the one guy isn't there a McDonald's guy who's like a scrotal lesion. Remember that?
Yep, you got
it. Yeah,
that's it.
Mm-hmm.
It was that, or he was a taste bud.
Yeah, was there ever like a cartoon of McDonald's or anything?
Yeah.
How does this shit all fit together? Like, what does Ronald have to do?
Tell me more about the McDonald's cinematic universe.
I'm now really curious. Like, what? Because he's a clown. I mean, Ronald's just a clown, right? There's no more to it. Or is he a clown?
Yeah. He's also a tax accountant. Yeah, he's a clown. Really.
Clown slash murderer or something like that. Serial killer.
Well, he's got that big house everyone lives at. But
yeah,
Ronald, and it's a burglar, and it's there's a mayor. Well, the mayor, he's the mayor of the town they live in, the McCheese, the burger-faced mayor, which is kind of strange that a lot of them are humans. But then there's an anthropomorphic bird and taste bud, and a cheeseburger.
Who's the bird? What's the bird?
It's just
Birdie,
like she
isn't it?
flies
Birdie
a
or
plane or
something?
something. I think early bird.
Okay.
McDonald's
Birdie
bird.
the early bird.
Oh,
Yeah.
sure. I know this one.
She
Yeah.
kind of looks like Big Bird a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
List of McDonald's characters. Oh, there's Fry Kid.
Oh yeah, there's those like four or five little round chicken McNugget kind of things. Are those the Fry Kids?
Ronald
No,
has
actual
a
fry kids, I think, like French fries.
Oh.
Ronald has a dog named Sunday. There's some more characters here that we haven't. Officer Big Mac. You're right. There's a guy named Officer Big Mac, and it says
I knew he was a cop.
Right. He, longtime member of the force, Officer Big Mac, once discovered a grisly murder and couldn't get over it, hung himself. So actually, there's a little bit of backstory.
Yeah. He was married to the bird, but like a life long of obsession over not being able to catch the hamburger led to alcoholism. I'm getting too over this shit, and just shot himself.
Okay, here's the pirate.
And then one morning he woke up and discovered a bunch of scrotal lesions on his on his body, and he was like, "Oh, McLesionese at it again."
All right, the pirate is Captain Crook. Captain Crook was a pirate from 1970 to 08. I don't remember that. And is similar in appearance to the famed Captain Hook.
No shit.
From Peter Pan.
Oh, yeah?
Unlike Hamburglar, this villain spent his time trying to steal Filet-O-Fish sandwiches.
Well, he's
all right, so
different technically.
Did it start off as like Ronald as the superhero versus this whole cast of villains like trying to save the day? Why is everyone a villain?
And then there's also I'm not making this up. There's a character named Uncle O'Grimace.
What?
Uncle O'Grimace was created 1977, 1985. And in an advertising narrative for celebration of St. Patrick's Day to mark the annual appearance of the Shamrock Shake. O'Grimace is the Irish uncle of the character Grimace, and is a variant of the Grimace design in that he is green instead of purple, sports a frock coat covered with several four-leaf clovers, and carries a shillelagh. So,
those marketing execs had 5 minutes to figure out an Irish look. Just turn Grimace green. Who gives a fuck? Throw him out there.
And is a raging drunk.
He should be like obsessed with the fries, not like because it's all potato based, right? Like or was there a Mick corned beef or something they were selling?
Just all these canceled Grimaces. There's Los Grimace.
Das Grimace and a big like lederhosen and a hat with a feather in it. All I said.
Yeah, I don't think Grimace is. He doesn't look like he's inspired by a taste bud. He's literally looks like he's inspired by like a drop of blood that like fell out of the guy. You know, like it's literally just the biggest lump of shit. You know.
Well, and all of them can talk except the hamburger can only say "robble." Is that correct? That's all he's able to admit. Has he ever said anything else? Like, what have I done?
I don't know. You know, I kind of fell off the McDonald's verse a few years back, so I don't know.
The McDonald's verse. That's fair.
Yeah, I'm out on that.
He didn't say much. Literally, the only other thing he said is he was about to face corporal punishment. He was like ready for execution. Then he just gave this really long soliloquy about how he wasted his life stealing hamburgers.
They were about to give him a lethal dose of sweet and sour sauce.
And then he just yelled, "I regret nothing!" And then they pulled the trigger, and then he died.
And he yelled, "Grimace is a taste bud!"
I fucked that bird! Yeah.
All right.
Cool.
Let's eat some jerky. Grimace. Donald's characters. All right. We're going to eat 4 more jerkies. So if you didn't listen to episode 1, kangaroo jerky won the day. So it didn't have great scores, but still it won. So we'll see if one of these today can beat it. Let's start with the pork and ostrich stick from the Beef Jerky Experience. We had a couple other beef jerky experiences in the first round.
Sure,
that's right. We had pork and kangaroo and pork and alligator, and they didn't do. Oh, the pork. Wait.
The kangaroo won.
Yes, the pork and kangaroo won. The alligator was spicy, which is what I didn't like about that one.
This one is not spicy.
No.
I've never heard of
being dry.
ostrich being in anything before.
Didn't your brother eat an ostrich egg one time?
Yeah, I told that story. He shipped me an ostrich egg one time, and I had to like open it with like a fucking hammer and chisel because the shell was so thick. And then it was like the equivalent of like 24 eggs or something like that. Like it took forever to eat, and it did not taste very good.
How would you eat that all once? Like you just made a giant omelet? Like what'd you do with it?
Yeah, right. You like scoop it all into a big bowl or whatever and mix it all around, and then just like take it out, make some scrambled eggs, and then the next day take some more out, that kind of thing.
Can you just leave them in the fridge? Like in a big gooey bowl?
Yeah, I mean, that's what I did. I don't know if you can, but I fucking did it.
This is just a stick-shaped one. We had some different shapes, but this one is your like Slim Jim style. Some of the yak one we ate was a bit flatter.
Well, both of the beef jerky experience ones we ate last time were flat and thin,
right,
and like wide, but like they were both very like weirdly wet. I think it was something we didn't like about them.
This one is not.
No, it's not.
A bit on the dry side, actually. Geiger, what do you think?
I wish this stick was wet. I'm talking about the snack.
Yeah.
It's just too dry. It's just like it's a little it doesn't taste bad. It's not really that spicy. It's just kind of bland to me. It's fine. It's a little. You got to chew a little bit with it and really work it because of how there's just no moisture. So for that reason, I'm going to give it an indifferent. It's fine. I like it fine. I'll eat it later. I'm not going to eat them all today because we got 4 and I ate a big dinner. But it's fine.
Fucking amateur.
Yeah, I know.
Chad, what do you think?
A shell of your former self, Geiger. I think this one's tastes pretty good. I actually don't think it's all that dry. I think the flavor's all right. It's not spicy at all, which is good for me. I wish it was like sort of a stronger flavor. I think like an all pork stick here would probably be better, honestly, than a pork and ostrich. Like the ostrich is probably bringing the flavor down a little bit. But I am going to give it a very low level like that. I think it's all right.
I think this one is pretty good. I think it has more flavor than some of the ones we had last time.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a little gritty. A little bit on the gritty side. But I do like the flavor. I'm surprised sort of how much I like it. I'm actually going to slide this one also into a low level like that. So we've got 2 likes and then a different. And that was better, I think, than anything
it's already
we tried
better
last
than
time.
anything we tried last time.
So let's see if it's just the one we picked. Let's do the Country Archer Provisions maple bacon flavored pork and bacon stick.
Another long stick one.
Yeah, another long stick, but it's a thicker stick and softer.
Smells pretty good.
So pork and bacon are different?
Yeah, that's sort of weird.
Did they make bacon and then put it into tube form?
What do you guys think of when McDonald's did that whole thing with General Heinrich Grimmelstein during World War II?
When he was one of the soldiers, like pushing the flag up on Iwo Jima, that was kind of cool.
I thought that was pretty good, but I personally preferred when they did Mario Grimace, and he just ran around eating spaghetti. There you go.
I couldn't tell. I thought that was a Nintendo joke first.
No, that was the Italian name I could think of was Mario.
When you went to the spaghetti, I'm like, wait, now I'm confused. I didn't know what was happening.
Remember when he ate spaghetti out of a warp pipe? You know, that time?
Hey, I'm a tasting here.
It's a me, Grimace.
Wow.
All right. Yeah. Oh, he's a villain. I forgot.
Oh, yeah, he's a bad guy.
All right, Chad, what do you think of this?
I think this one's actually even better than the one we tried last time. I think it's got a better consistency. The flavor is just a little bit better, probably because it's 100% pork, like I just said. And I even went back and tried the ostrich one again just to make sure. I think this is good. This is a solid like that for me.
All right. I like this one less than the ostrich stick. It tastes more like generic and processed to me. It doesn't taste like as fresh of a stick. I don't know how much truth there is to that or not. And I think this company is probably a bit more readily available. You might be able to find this country archer a little easier. To me, it just wasn't quite as good. I didn't like the flavor as much. And again, I don't taste bacon versus pork, and you can't discern any of these flavors.
Yeah. There's no maple either, I will say.
No. Whereas the ostrich was clear in the first stick. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I had dark meat.
I'm going to give this an indifferent to dat. It's fine, but nothing to write home about. Gagger?
I don't like this one. I think it's the worst of the jerkies we've had. I think off the top of my head. Now it was just last week. I might be maybe I gave one I hate that and I forget last week, but no, that's right. I ate them all.
You gave the kangaroo one a dislike, and that was it.
Okay.
The
one that won.
Yeah, the one that won.
I'm going to give this one a dislike as well. I agree with Novak in that it tastes more like it is less dry than the one we just ate, so that's a plus in my book. But it almost tastes too soft, like it's almost like a loaf. You know what I mean? Like a. It's not like a meatloaf. I know that, but I mean, it's like a tube steak kind of loaf almost, where it's not. It doesn't feel like jerky or like.
Tastes just like a French baguette.
It tastes like something like my great ancestor Pierre Grimace would make in his Parisian bakery. It's also, I don't know what the flavor's weird. I can't describe it. That's not an articulate way to say what I don't like about it. I know it's supposed to be smoked, and maybe it's probably like fake smoke flavor, and sometimes that fake smoke flavor that you get is just kind of weird tasting. I don't taste any. It's supposed to be maple bacon. I don't taste any maple, like you both said. I don't know why it's bacon versus pork, because it all just tastes the same. So
it's just got to be marketing, yeah.
Yeah, it just tastes a little weird. It wasn't what I was expecting, and like I said, it's exactly like a crusty loaf of French bread. So for that reason, I'll give it a dislike that.
Mm-hmm. All right. So Ostrich still in the lead. We're still kind of early on 10. Let's do the third one, then we'll do the segment. Let's save one of the sticks for last. Let's do this Roadkill one. Hunter's Reserve Roadkill. Now this says it is made with elk, venison, grass-fed beef, pheasant, and rabbit. All these, and they're in little flat squares with some. What is the white stuff on there?
I was just going to ask you guys if yours had white stuff on it.
That's the rabbit. Rabbit fur.
Holy shit.
Oh, there. It's got that chew that I was looking for. I'll give it that.
Yeah.
It says wrong in so many ways on the package.
It does clarify that it's not from the road, which I don't think we had to be explained, but thanks. Does yours taste like anything?
Tastes like the bottom of a fucking shoe.
Yeah, it does.
Not Shaq Shoyo.
No.
We know what's in there.
You need a bigger bag. Okay. They're fucking terrible.
What the fuck?
They're so tough.
I was expecting good things from this.
They literally taste like nothing. It's like
I don't know why you expected good things. We did the Hunter's Reserve Swamp Stick last time, and that tasted like butt, too. And it's just not a good company.
Making it cleaner for the kids this week. Tastes like booty.
Ooh.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy.
It says there's spices. I don't taste this. It says there's sugar and spices and celery powder, and I don't taste anything.
After you're done swallowing it, there's like a little tiny bit of spice that sits on the side of your tongue. At least for me.
A little bit.
It's not strong, but it's not pleasant.
Mm-hmm.
It's pheasant. I think I'm first here. Whew. It's really just a debate between dislike and hate to me.
Mm.
I do not want to eat another one of these. It does. Chad was exactly right when he said it tastes like chewing. Picture a piece of the bottom of your shoe coming off and then chewing on it. That's what this tastes like.
Mm-hmm.
Not just in texture, but honestly in taste too. So I think I have to give this a hate dat. To me, it's very bad. It's just not getting the job done at all. For it to list, 5 different meats on the front, and for it to taste like none of them is not good. So, hate. Geiger?
Yeah, this thing sucks. It's chewy as fuck, like you said. Tastes like chewing on the bottom of your shoe, similar to what Sunday would do. It just doesn't taste. It's not. There's no. It says there's spices. I don't taste a single spice. Like you said, afterwards, there's a little bit of a mild. I don't even want to say heat because it's not spicy, but there's like a mild burn from something, but it's not. It's almost like a peppery burn, and it's not good at all. The aftertaste is bad. The during taste, like I like to say, is also bad. The consistency is terrible. It's not chewy in a good way. Like I like a chewy jerky, like a snap of a jerky, but this is like chewy, and then you keep chewing it, just kind of falls apart in these weird chunks in your mouth. It's very bad. This is a hate dat. I don't like this at all. There's no reason to eat it, and it sucks.
Wow. 2 hates. Chad?
I'm shocked you gave it a hate, Geiger. Honestly.
I eat a lot of trash, but there's no reason to, probably.
I didn't think there was a jerky on the planet that you would give a hate dat to. Yeah. You guys said it. This thing is fucking dog shit. It's so bad in every way. Like, it's just stuffed with pepper. That pepper, honestly, is the only thing I taste. Mm-hmm. And then, like, shoe leather consistency is really, really bad. I think... Well, I gave a hate to the alligator stick, but I think this is the worst of all the ones so far. This is also getting a hate dat from me.
Wow. A flaming bag of dog shit. Whew.
Are we just getting burnt out on jerky? They seem to be getting worse.
Yeah, these are bad.
We started with the best one.
I'm going to touch on some other characters as we go. Looking through more characters.
Yeah.
Cosmic. At COSMC. Cosmic was an alien who wore a large spacesuit, and he talked like a surfer dude. He was featured in a series of McDonald's commercials where he traded some items to Ronald McDonald.
Wait, okay. He talks like a surfer dude, except he's not from Earth where they do all the surfing?
Yeah, exactly.
All right. That's fair. Maybe they surf.
He's from a planet likely with no water. But still...
Also, that other villain that was Grimace's cousin, which was Grimace Dwarf. Whatever. Just say shit.
And this is another real one. Bernice, a strange creature introduced in 1992. She ate inedible things like the script.
Now, if they had been thinking, they could have used that like he'd have like a bag of Burger King and start eating it, and like, oh, this is terrible.
Oh,
like
yeah.
the script. How you know your lines then?
Great point.
Yeah,
Geiger segment.
Skewered him. All right. So last week, Novak walked us through more of some situations in which we had to figure out who's the jerk, since we're doing jerky. Mm-hmm. So this week, we're going to look at people we know are jerks, pair them off into jerk showdowns, and see who is more of a jerk in your guys' opinions. And hopefully there'll be some healthy debate about jerkiness. All right. Here we go. The first one. No, it's just, you guys can agree if you want. It's really just, what do you think? So, classic jerk, well known throughout history as a jerk. Ben Franklin was apparently a jerk, according to this website I saw today.
All right.
Was he?
I believe it.
Yeah, well,
yeah.
Mostly because apparently he was notorious for cheating on his wife, and especially with old women. And he was quoted as saying the reason he likes being with promiscuous old women is that they can't get pregnant and they'll care for you when you get sick.
Wow.
Which I don't know
all
if
of
his
them?
wife was just super fertile and didn't give a shit if he had a cold or something. But yeah, Ben Franklin, notorious philanderer, and invented electricity.
Mm-hmm.
And then, go ahead.
This might get me canceled by the "Don't Tread on Me" crowd, but I have a feeling most of the founding fathers were probably huge assholes.
Yeah.
Just gonna throw that out there.
Also, I don't think he invented electricity. I just remembered him flying a kite with a key in it and a lightning bolt hit it or something, right? Wasn't that?
Yeah, that sounds more like just you're a dumbass flying a kite in a fucking lightning storm.
Plus,
fucking idiot.
Plus, in Ben Franklin's time, old was probably like 36, right?
right. Old was 16 years old. All right. Okay, and he is up against another famous douchebag, Martin Shkreli. You guys know who that is?
Nope.
No.
He's a more recent douchebag. He was
more recent than Ben Franklin.
More recent than Ben Franklin. No, this is just from a couple years ago. He was a pharma bro who got put in jail for insider trading.
Oh, this is like a hedge fund guy or something?
Yeah, and he most notably took a pill named, he didn't take a pill. He was in charge of a company that had a pill named Daraprim and increased the price from $13 a pill or a bottle to $750. And that's a problem because it's one of its common uses is as a secondary prevention against developing HIV and AIDS. He was also more of a jerk because once he went into prison for insider trading, he was very much leaned into being a villain and a jerk. It was like cocky in the press and like flashing, thumbs up to the media during the court and stuff like that. So just kind of an ignorant, rich asshole.
Right.
So rich insider trading pharma douche bro versus banging the oldies, Ben Franklin. What do you think?
Yeah.
Not just banging old women. Let's just say that. You are not his wife.
How
that's
dare you?
That's probably not a bad idea.
How dare you have sex with someone over a certain age?
Because here's the thing, guys. Ben Franklin was also old, from what I understand. So
yeah.
It's probably also all he could get.
Over 16.
Yeah. Yeah, he was a robust 25.
I'll go first here. It's got to be the pharma guy. There's a special place in hell that for people that make like healthcare, important vital healthcare, like harder to get or like more expensive for the people that need it. Those people are like some of the worst people in the world. So I will go with him over like kite flying asshole.
Yeah. Chad said it. That's just about the worst thing you can do. Plus, Franklin, for all the probably bad shit he did some good stuff too, where it sounds like I don't know anything redeemable that Farmer Bro did. So
yeah.
Plus, I mean, those old ladies need it too. So I mean, it's not like a big deal that like
it's a public service, right?
Yeah. All right. All right. This one, both more modern. These guys are not necessarily a-holes for like a certain reason. It's more just for what they begat. Okay, so one of them is Chad Kroeger, the lead singer of Nickelback. That's the entire resume of why he's a shithead. So he made terrible, horrible music that we had to listen to on repeat constantly. This is how you remind me. I think it was high school or college. College, I think, for us, right?
Did it all on purpose.
And it was just to piss me off. And the other one is Christian Odier. He's a French fashion designer. And he did a lot of nice stuff. Apparently, he's very famous in the fashion world. However, he was also the original founder and designer of Ed Hardy, which has got to be the douchiest, jerkiest fashion wear. If you're not familiar, it's like denim jeans and like jackets with like sequins and dragons and shit all over it. It looks terrible.
Did you come up with this list? Did you just like Google who's fashion asshole?
I started thinking of different types of jerks. I didn't want it just because you look up like worst people in history. It's like Stalin. I'm like, right. Like it was
kind of an asshole. Yeah.
Hitler, kind of a jerk. But
Chad Kroger or Pol Pot.
Now Pol Pot slept with women his own age, guys.
This one's kind of easy for me too. I couldn't pick an Ed Hardy shirt or pants out of a lineup. I don't really know. I get that it's was a fashion trend at some point, but I've never paid attention to that. I have no idea what that looks like. I guess if you showed it to me, I would. I know Nickelback really well because I've had to listen to it for all my life. It's awful, really bad. So I'm going with Kroger.
Okay.
Yeah. I've heard Ed Hardy, but like I don't know shit about clothes. It's the same. Like I think the first bunch of times that I heard Ed Hardy, I thought like, wait, was that one of like the Hardy Boys from WWE? But that was Matt and Jeff. I realized later.
Ed, it's Ed. They're dead.
I thought it was just like people wearing wrestling shirts or something. But so I don't care about fashion at all. I actually don't hate Nickelback as much as I think most people do. I'm very neutral to them. Like they suck, but like I just don't get that passionate about their music. But by default, I'll pick Kroger.
All right.
Giving a bad name to Chads everywhere.
I looked up Ed Hardy clothes, and like half these pictures are pictures of John Gosselin wearing Ed Hardy clothes.
Same thing when I was doing the research. He was famously like a lover of Ed Hardy and like partnered with Christian Odier, who's such a elite French fashion designer that he teamed up with the dad from John and Kate Plus 8. That's how cool he was.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Going along here. All right. Now we talked briefly about a guy who invented electricity. Here's another guy who actually did sort of invent electricity. Thomas Edison. So a lot of people hate him historically because they feel he stole credit from Tesla, Nikola Tesla, who actually did a lot of the actual conceptual work.
He's a huge asshole in that movie, The Prestige.
That's right.
All of my Edison knowledge is from The Prestige.
Right. He also wanted to
kill an elephant, didn't he?
Yes, he wanted to demonstrate the superiority of DC current, so he electrocuted an elephant in front of people. Now, according to the what I was reading, the elephant's name was Topsy, and it was a problem elephant from Coney Island. So look, the elephant had it coming, is what they're trying to say.
Right. Is he up against Topsy?
He's up against Topsy, who apparently it says here was angry because it was in a fucking cage on Coney Island, and it was banging only old elephants. No. All right, he is up against. I don't know if you've heard this notorious jerk, Genghis Khan. Well,
what a jerk!
Notably, not a nice guy. Right? He slaughtered hundreds of people throughout his life.
This is Thomas Edison versus Genghis Khan,
but also
because he stole a guy's ideas and electrocuted an elephant.
An elephant. That's not nice.
It's not even in the same fucking ballpark as Genghis Khan.
Genghis Khan might have.
When Novak was making Pol Pot jokes, I almost made a Genghis Khan joke, but he's actually in this thing.
Also, Genghis Khan. Apparently, this is a quote attributed to him. I don't know how this who was interviewing fucking Time Magazine interviewing Genghis Khan. But man's greatest good fortune is to chase and defeat his enemy, seize his total possessions, leave his married women weeping and wailing, ride his gelding, use his women as a nightshirt and support, gazing upon and kissing their rosy breasts, sucking their lips, which are as sweet as the berries of their breasts. So he was eloquent. Okay,
wow.
He was just
go Ravens. He said that.
Go Ravens.
It's a weird interview to be had.
Yeah.
So yeah, he liked the ladies. I mean,
now look, Genghis Khan didn't steal anyone's credit. He did all the killing. It wasn't like someone else did the killing, and like Grimace or something, and then he
didn't steal anything from anyone.
Grimace Khan wasn't going to.
He never took a thing that wasn't his. That's how he's remembered. I'm gonna say Genghis Khan's worse. I'm going to go on a limb.
Okay.
Surprising. Okay.
Well, I mean, Edison was wrong. DC is significantly worse than AC. That is basically the only thing I remember from that section of science class. And look, I already mentioned The Prestige. All my knowledge is based on movies, and Genghis Khan was pretty fun in Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, so I'm going Edison here.
All right. Fair enough.
Seemed like a swell dude in that he helped out Bill and Ted, you know?
All right. So we'll go to the world of sports. Two notorious sports jerks. All right.
Mm-hmm.
One is Lance Armstrong. So a cyclist, won the Tour de France many times over, beat cancer and kind of used it as this platform to build this whole lifestyle brand called Live Strong. You've seen it started the trend of all those douchebags wearing the rubber band bracelets or whatever for everything. But more, and that's not why he's a jerk, but it was more because he was a horrible cheater.
He beat cancer?
Yeah. He noted for blood doping and cheating, and also like just doubling down, refusing to apologize for doing it, saying he would do it again. He was apparently a notoriously petty jerk. And also he invented those wristbands. And then Babe Ruth is the other one. So Babe Ruth, somewhat of a jerk. He was noted for jerking homers out the park. However, he was also noted for, being a horrible philanderer. He actually adopted a daughter. He was married to a woman, apparently adopted a daughter with them. And it turned out the reason he wanted to do it is because it was his daughter from another woman. And then he eventually divorced her, married a different woman, and told her, I promise to go easier on the drinking and to go to bed earlier, but I will not give up for you for $50,000 or $250,000. It was a very odd money range. Will I give up women? They're too much fun. So he basically told his second wife, look, if you want to be married to Babe Ruth, I'm just going to be fucking lots of other chicks. You got to deal with it.
Right.
So, at least he was upfront about it.
Yeah. Now, unlike Lance Armstrong, it's pretty clear he was not doing any blood doping or steroids because he was a fat sack of shit. So he was at least seemingly honest about his profession, I would think. So, guys, Babe Ruth, Lance Armstrong, bigger jerk.
I'm going to go Babe Ruth here.
Okay.
Because I have sort of a controversial take where I think steroids and stuff should be allowed in professional sports. So I don't, I mean, Lance Armstrong definitely like a huge piece of shit, it seems, but he was in that Lonely Island bicycle thing that was what was that called?
Tour de Pharma.
Yeah, Tour de Pharma or whatever.
Oh, right.
So the fact that he's like sort of willing to be in that gives him some points for me. And I really don't know shit about Babe Ruth, so let's go with Babe Ruth.
Okay.
I think Babe Ruth would have been in a Lonely Island if he could have. I think Lance is worse. Like Babe, he said he wasn't going to do it for $50K or $250.
Right.
But if this woman would have ponied up $500K, he would have gone straight.
Maybe even $251K.
Right. Yeah. And granted, $250K back then was like you're sitting on a gold mine. That was a lot of money back in Babe Ruth.
Yeah, Lance. Look, he probably did a lot of good stuff too, but he's sort of like this was a long con. He rode this lie to a lot of fame. Where Babe, he just sort of did the opposite. He said, "This is me,
Yeah.
I'm going to be laying the pipe. So,
I mean, Novak's right. Like, Lance is way worse.
Oh, yeah. It also helps that we've seen Lance Armstrong be an asshole. Babe Ruth might have been the biggest prick on all humanity, but we don't know because he played in like 1920s or something.
Right. All I've seen Babe Ruth do is like run and sped up speed around the bases in an old timey black and white footage.
Yeah, I will say Babe Ruth, like of all the great athletes you've ever seen, Babe Ruth looks hilarious. He's just this dumpy looking dude with a big fat dumb looking face.
There's Babe holding out his hand, waiting it to be filled with 300K.
Countless scads of harlots are next to him, waiting to their turn with the babe if the money doesn't come in on time. He's unbuckling his pants preemptively. Ben Franklin sneaking around the corner and taking the oldest one. I don't think their lives overlap, probably. That's probably not historically accurate. Okay.
Probably not.
All right. We all have children. There's lots of creators of beloved children's materials. But unfortunately,
there's a lot of creators of beloved children.
Look, guys, we've all fucked.
No. Sorry, no. All right. That's right. We've had children. There's also, we all consumed a lot of children's like media and things like that. Right? That's what I'm getting at. Because we have children. So, two of those prominent creators, guys, I'm going to tell you right here, they could possibly be jerks. All right. So one is Dr. Theodor Seuss. Apparently, Dr. Seuss was not very nice to fans. Also, he cheated on his wife while she was struggling with paralysis, and many people felt it led, based on what she wrote in her suicide note, it led to her suicide because she was so devastated about what he did to her. And then there's Walt Disney. Not a nice guy. He was a very notorious control freak. He overworked the staff.
Anti-Semite, wasn't he?
He was an anti-Semite. Yep.
Yeah.
He was very sexist. He believed women would never be successful cartoonists and would prevent them from working in any station other than the typical ones afforded to women at the time. He was very exploitative. It's very well known he would steal other people's works and incorporate it into his ideas and things like that. Incidentally, he also made Cars 2 indirectly, right, by creating Pixar spiritually, and that movie fucking sucks. Interestingly enough, in the research of this, I found, and this isn't necessarily why he's a jerk. He didn't have any control over this, but notoriously, it's talked about that Walt Disney's like remains are frozen somewhere or something, and they want to reanimate him someday if they can, or something like that. And many people, apparently, a popular conspiracy theory is that Disney created the movie and Frozen and named it Frozen so that when you Google Walt Disney Frozen, the movie will come up instead of the conspiracy theory, which I thought was awesome. I think that's a whole. If that's true, that's genius.
That's very funny.
Yeah, that's why Disney also made "I Didn't Kill All Those People" as a feature film, so that when you Google it, you won't find out. So okay, Seuss cheated on his ailing, paralyzed wife. Disney, a lot of shit. So, again, kind of in keeping with most of these corporate magnates are assholes.
This one's much harder.
Yeah. This is
the hardest one.
Really hard.
Yeah.
Because the content from Disney is better, right? Like, you have Disney World, awesome. Disneyland, awesome. There are some, like, really, really great, like, Disney films, that kind of thing. There's also a lot of shit. Seuss is very hit or miss. I actually just recently started reading some Seuss stuff, like one fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish is fucking awful.
Yeah, no character development in there.
So bad.
Yeah, they're just naming colors of fish. Mm-hmm. Do you like my hat? Yeah, I like it. Go away from me. Right? Yeah, exactly.
However, Fox and Socks, a lot of fun, I think.
Yeah.
But I think I'm going to go with Disney for the reason that because of Disney, the public domain laws in this country are like so fucked, right? Like nothing goes into public domain anymore, and it's specifically because Disney keeps suing to keep Mickey from going into the public domain.
And he hated Jews. Anyway, Novak.
Also, that one, yes. I mean, that went without saying.
Yeah, I gotta say Disney seemed Seuss could have been racist, but it wasn't mentioned in there, so I'll do.
Oh, it says here Seuss hated grimaces.
Seuss potentially a little racist. They had to like pull a couple of his books because he had some like very bad stereotype like drawings of Asian people in there recently.
I would not be surprised to find Dr. Seuss's social beliefs problematic, but
all right, so we all agree Disney is the jerk. Is that what we're saying here?
Yeah.
Okay. We all agree.
It's unanimous. Walt Disney
is a jerk.
I made a joke about them last week, but it wouldn't be an examination of jerks without the Jerky Boys themselves. So it is Johnny Brennan and Kamal Ahmed were two guys who used to make prank phone calls and record themselves doing it and like sold them as comedy albums. They had lots of commonly used characters. One representative is Frank Rizzo, a stereotypical blue-collar Italian-American who was also apparently repeatedly in his phone calls accusing Mickey Mouse, the Mickey Mouse character at Disney, of doing sexually inappropriate things with his children, which is kind of an odd tick. I don't know what that was for. Hey, yeah, and then Mickey keeps diddling again. Also, Disney really fucked up the corporate property laws. That's the only reason I don't like him. And the Jerky Boys collectively will face off against Steve Martin. Now, hear me out. Steve Martin. First of all, Steve Martin plays bluegrass. That's fucking dumb. Second of all, guys, he played the lead character and wrote, and I think basically produced the movie The Jerk. How can I not have him in here? So he is the jerk in many ways, which is a bizarre. I've never seen it. In fact, until I looked it up today, I had no idea what it's about. And the premise sounds so bizarre, I can barely explain it here. Apparently, he plays a guy who at a young age was adopted by a black sharecropping family, and he thinks he's poor and black. Right. He like goes through life thinking he's a black person.
I don't think that would play very well today. Yeah.
No, it wouldn't. So the Jerky Boys are Steve. Now, before we get into this, did you guys ever listen to the Jerky Boys or hear some of them? I heard a little bit growing up.
Yeah.
No, not really. You're
not listening much.
Yeah.
Steve Martin has some funny stuff.
Yeah.
Playing Strange in Automobiles, a number of other movies.
Bowfinger. It's pretty good.
Bowfinger, great movie.
Not bad.
He also did the most overrated thing of all time, which was that original King Tut thing, which is fucking not funny at all.
That sucks.
Yeah.
He was one of the Wild and Crazy Guys, which was also pretty overrated. If you
the problem I have with the Jerky Boys, I think I probably laughed as a kid, but they're problematic in like the old Howard Sternish way, and that they're like exploiting people who like, are of low IQ in order to get laughs and stuff. So I am going to say they're worse than Martin.
Yeah, I don't really have any super problems with Martin. I feel like my dad was a big fan of him. I think he's all right. He's got a couple good things. I think most of his stuff is not really my sense of humor. He's maybe a little too old for me, but I've never really been into prank phone calls. I just don't really think prank phone calls is like that really funny of a thing. Like when they're real. I mean, like if it's like the kind of stuff that like Bart Simpson used to do to Moe, right? Like that's funny because it's a fucking scripted show. But like real, actual prank phone calls, I've never gotten the appeal behind that. So I'll go Jerky Boys there.
Wasn't it? I remember listening with back in college, the Arnold Schwarzenegger ones of like calling.
We laughed a lot.
The soundboard.
Those were okay.
Yeah,
yes, I did funny. Listen to those. Those are funny. Yeah. Yes, but only.
Who's your daddy and what does he do? I recently,
was that Jerky Boys or that was something else?
I don't think so. No.
Oh, okay.
So that was Steve Martin. All right, let's eat elk.
Smooth. That was very smooth.
elk used, grass fed, and grass finished elk. What is
Wait, elk used?
Am I reading that right?
You know, you have it.
Elk used, grass fed, and grass finished elk and pork snack sticks. That makes no sense. But guys, it's made with sea salt. I just want you to know that. It says it on there.
Did the elk eat it and shit it out, and then they made it into jerky?
Yeah, elk used, grass fed, and grass. Oh, the elk that is used is grass fed and grass finished. End of sentence.
Okay. Wait,
That's
so
what
wait
they're
a minute.
trying to say.
I know what grass fed is. What is grass finished? They like sprinkled grass on top when they were done with the recipe?
They were buried in grass, the corpse, after we...
They helped the elk finish before.
Jerk the elk off with a bale of hay.
Lube with grass.
The elk on this package is very funny looking.
Oh, hilarious.
He's got some kind of wraparound goggles or glasses. He's got a nice suit on, suit and tie. The company is Pearson Ranch. This comes in a 4-pack, and they're almost, the sticks are almost as big as the other ones we've eaten, and this is, you get 4 times the elk.
It does say hashtag you are what you eat on the bottom, and like 3 of the words are misspelled, so that pisses me off already.
It says elk used, what is elk eat? I'm so fucking sick of jerky, I'll tell you.
Yeah. These sticks specifically are all just running together. Like they all, it's just like an amorphous line of spicy.
Geiger,
product.
you're first, Geiger.
Oh yeah, it's back around to me. Ooh. Well, as we all know, Grimace was elk used and grass finished. It had nothing to do with bird eating.
Geiger was shack shoe finished back in the day.
I filled the whole shoe with it. That's how voluminous it is.
Shack shoe finished and filled.
It's weird because the outside is wet and greasy. The inside is dry. I honestly, Novak said we need to be said a little bit when it's just like, I'm at the point where they all taste the same and I don't know how to differentiate them. I like this way. Obviously, I like it better than the maple thing and the road bites or roadkill bites. I'll go indifferent. It's fine. I mean, it has actually, I will say a mild like that. It has a little seasoning in it. I don't love the consistency. It is still a little dry for me, but it's not bad. It's not as bad as the first one, and it's got a little seasoning in it, and I think it's a pleasant enough taste. And it's elk finished, so grass finished. I mean, so we'll take it.
We finished these elks with other elks. It was some fucking hot elk shit.
Elk on elk action.
Look at that elk. I'd fuck him. He looks all proper and ripped.
Chad?
It's a well-dressed elk, that's for sure. Not wearing any of that Ed Hardy shit. Oh boy. These are so just generic. I really hoped that, because I'm not a big jerky or meat stick guy in general, but I feel like there exists a jerky or meat stick that I would absolutely love. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like that's something that could exist, and in my mind's eye, I can kind of picture it and taste it, but I've never found it. And I was really hoping we could find something where I'd be like, oh, I will buy that when I see that in the store. But even the one of these that I like the best, which is maybe this maple bacon one or this pork and ostrich, I don't even fucking know anymore. Like, even that is just kind of like, all right, whatever. Yeah, it's all right. I don't know why that is. Like, why can't they make one of these taste like a filet mignon or something? I think this is the most generic of them all. Like, it is just so, there's no flavor there. The consistency is whatever. Like, I don't taste any of the grass finishing at all. So this is just an indifferent to that for me.
There's Babe out in right field, finishing with grass for the fans before the game.
He's calling his shot. Oh, the first 3 rows.
What's that? He's pointing out to right field. Babe's calling his shot.
Stands only have 3 rows? That works?
I agree. I think it maybe is just the most generic, or maybe it's the 8th jerky we've eaten. I don't know. I wish I had a good answer for that. Unfortunately, I can't go back in time and eat these first, so they're going to be hurt by the fact that they're last in line. They're just indifferent. I just want to be done eating jerky.
Well, then you're going to hate week 3 of the Jerkuille O'Neal tournament, where we eat all the leftover jerky.
So the winner for today is the ostrich. Am I right?
Yeah, the pork and ostrich one is the winner from today and the overall
winner. Now,
Experience pulling through for the second straight episode.
So I personally think it is better. I'd rather eat this than the kangaroo. Geiger, I'm assuming because you gave the kangaroo a dislike.
Correct. Yeah.
Chad, you gave 2 likes, didn't you? So do you have a preference?
Yeah, and I do. Because I still have some of the kangaroo one. I tried them both. I definitely prefer the one from this
ostrich.
The ostrich. Yeah, I couldn't even remember which one was which side of the today's.
I like the kangaroo better than the 2 that I didn't like today. The roadkill and the
roadkill is the worst one.
Yeah.
That's universally the worst one.
So the best jerky is ostrich jerky.
The best jerky is an ostrich meat stick.
It's not even jerky.
We barely tried any jerky in this at all.
So head out and get an ostrich stick.
At your local gas station, snap into an ostrich Slim Jim.
Geiger, where can the listeners contact us?
All right. If you have finished with grass, if you've eaten used elk, if you've Cayman Shack's shoe, if you exclusively like having sex with old people, it doesn't count if you are an old person. I think that's kind of cheating. If you like Nickelback, if you are Nickelback, if you ever got called by one of the Jerky Boys in their heyday, give us a ring. You can find us. I keep saying give us a ring. We don't have a phone number, so don't give us a ring. You can reach out to us at Tried Dat.
It's a call-in show now.
It's a radio program. All right, live on the line. We have Kristen Odier. You can reach us at youtrydat@gmail.com, hashtag youtrydat on Twitter, youtrydat on Facebook. It's a group. We are on YouTube. We are also on Instagram. So you should let us know what you think of our snack ratings, suggest new snacks for us to try, leave us questions for the non-existent mailbag we haven't done since the 3rd episode. And if you do like us, please tell your friends, family, enemies. We don't care at this point. They could be jerks. That's fine with us. Please, just if you are going to suggest snacks or send us stuff, just give us a break on the jerky for a good maybe year. We'll give ourselves a year to recalibrate, if you don't mind.
What do you guys think of as the most popular prank call that people make? If what is you think of as the stereotype most famous prank
refrigerator running, right?
Yeah,
right. It's all. Is there one besides that? Because that's the main one I think of.
I mean, there's scams now, but that's not the same as a prank, right? Like where they.
I guess the second one would be, who is your daddy and what does he do? I say that one a lot when I prank call people.
Isn't the prank call, the prank call industry, the big prank call industry has taken a big hit because nobody answers the fucking phone, right? No one can make a call.
Well, it's caller ID too. You can tell if it's not a number I don't recognize, I don't even pick up, right? Before you had no idea. It could be your dad. It could be someone was asking about the quality of your refrigerator. So who knows?
Like, is there a prank texting?
I mean, like the political texts, right? Like,
yeah.
Those ones. I don't know. Is there some way we can bring the prank call industry back? You know, should we stop doing this podcast and devote all our time and energy to that?
Probably good, I guess.
Make just as much money.
Right. Just change it to You Pranked Dat.
Yeah.
There was somebody who called my grandmother one time in the past couple years and tried to scam her, saying like, "Grandma," and she's like, "Yeah." Like, "Oh, Grandma, I'm in the hospital. I'm hurt." And she goes, "Is that you, Nick? Or is that something?" She didn't give my name out, but she's like, "Oh, yeah." He goes, "Yeah, I don't have my insurance lapsed. I don't have any money, and they say I need this like surgery, and I need it now, and they need to wire me some money." And she goes, "Okay, what's your name again?" And the guy just hung up. So like, she at least was sharp enough not to fall for that. So there are like prank scammers out there.
Right.
Yeah.
It really worked in your favor that you spent no time with your grandma. She couldn't remember your name.
What was really hurtful about it, she goes, "Is that you, Nick? Well, I hope you die." And she hung up. Wow, all right. That was unsuccessful, but for the wrong reason.
That was me that pulled your insurance.
I hope you go the way of Topsy the elephant. And she just hung up.
All right. Well, bad grandmothers.
Your grandma sounds like a jerk.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, hold on. My grandma versus Mario Grimace. Famous Italian Grimace.
You should have gone with Grimace Dwarf, the most famous of all.
What is Grimace Dwarf? I don't even know what you're talking about.
Like Ganondorf from Zelda.
I thought you were saying dwarf. That's why I'm like, what? I'm like, I thought it was like Gimli from that's what the joke was. I'm like, what? Dwarf.
All right, great.
All right. We'll be back next time. We're trying out 3 brand new snacks.
Yep.
Yes, I have a little complaint there about that Mickey Mouse character.
Okay.
Yeah. I took my kids to that damn big amusement park there, that Disney park. And that silly little rodent, that mouse there, was making eyes at my kids. He was trying to, grab my kids and all kinds of silly shit.